You know, doing sustainable things isn't just a matter of trying to do the right thing by the planet. We'd probably all like to do that, but there's a reason to actually try and incorporate that sort of thing into your business. This solar array behind me. Now, we run a horse business. My wife and I breed horses as a commercial hobby. We have the space to put in quite a large solar array. That's because in this business we have that space and we have that ability. And in turn we use the power we generate here in order to pump water from an artesian bore, in order to have ways to water horses and water paddocks when we've got droughts and difficult times. It's a cycle that can look after itself. A business can be sustainable in all sorts of ways which are good for its own longevity and also good for the planet. It doesn't have to be in conflict with the profit motive. I'm not saying that everything can be converted onto a sustainable footing straight away, but you can start looking at what you can do. You can set up a team saying, look at things which will help our business sustain itself and which will also be good for the planet. There are lots of things you can do at the input level just to try and actually do something which is better for the planet but also good for your business. Incorporate it into your business model so it's a sustained activity. Philanthropy is another thing. A number of firms say, let's make 1% of our profits donated to, we'll donate that to a charity every year. Well, of course, when business goes down, so does that donation. What about if you look at ways of incorporating your philanthropy into a sustainable charitable item where you can help people over time with a program that doesn't go up and down with the business cycle? Another obvious area is packaging. Now, United Biscuits, a major manufacturer, what it did was look for lighter packaging made from recyclable materials. What happened? They were cheaper and they were lighter. So one, there was a less cost in the input, and if things which are lighter are easier to transport and cost less to transport. So in both those areas, simply by looking at a recycled product, they were actually able to build in a lower cost base in terms of the logistics of packaging and delivering their product. So the challenge is really to look at your own business and see where it might work for you. Other things we do here, we recycle our grey water for irrigation. We also use the obvious output of a horse called manure, also quite a good fertiliser. If you look closely at your business and your inputs, you can probably find things where you can do things more cheaply in a way that actually lowers your cost base, or lowers your production cost, or lowers your cost of packaging, or makes your products lighter so they're cheaper to transport. Doing that is a way of actually improving your internal efficiencies, and by doing it that way, you internalise a sustainable action that will go on regardless of what's happening to the economy or society. The point is, a sustainable business model is one that actually improves by incorporating these sorts of practices. So here's where we finally get to. We've got water coming up here from an artesian bore. It's 140 metres down. Clean water. The horses like it. Don't mind it myself. We got it here by solar power, which drives a small pump that brings this water up here and into the dam, and then out we go to either irrigate, feed horses if we have to in the middle of a drought, or even just to give the paddocks a little bit of a drink. Sometimes even to give me a little bit of a drink too. Not bad. Not bad for the horses either.